Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lights, Camera, Yaption, a deep dive on media, movies, and wherever else I'm feeling like yapping about. I'm your host, Samp, your only host, of course, because I finally done it. I finally done what the world needs. There's a male loneliness epidemic, and that can only be solved by a male solo podcast epidemic. And so I'm doing it. I'm hosting a podcast because I want to. This is so silly. This is so silly. Basically, guys, I have been obviously loving making content, but I am such a douser. I take absolutely ages to eventually get something made and get something out. Usually because it's like a massive project that takes me 3 years. And for what? For what? Why did it take me 2 years to rank orphans? Like, what was that about? And I've been working on something. I've actually just finished filming it today, which is very exciting. But I just have the itch to get stuff out. It's going to take me ages to edit that. So I was like, why don't I just bite the bullet and do what everyone wants to do, which is make a podcast? And so we're doing it. Just me. There was lots of other people I was like, oh my God, I'd love to do podcasts with them. I'd love to do podcasts with them. Turns out everyone's like busy and has jobs. What the hell? What's going on there? What's going on? So I've taken it upon myself to go solo. Not solo. We do have my co-host here, Newton. Everyone say hi, Newton. Hello, Newton. And the rest of the gang at the top, that's the production team at the top, and Newton is the co-host. He only will give his opinion when it's deemed necessary. He brings a very unique point of view. I'll say it's not always a kind one. It's not always a correct one, but he gives it. He gives it whether we like it or not. But yeah, I just decided I wanted to do this and see how it goes. For now, I think it could be a lot of fun. As I say, I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about when it comes to media and arts and entertainment. I actually made a Wicked review, like, oh my gosh, the end of last year. Yes, that's when Wicked came out. And I edited it and put it together, and I didn't know where to put it. I didn't know what to do with it. And I was like, why did I make this? I just wanted to talk about it. I just wanted to talk about it was the answer. And so I've come to realize a podcast is just the perfect place to do that. Even if it is just myself with a tiny mic, and I apologize that it's a tiny mic, guys. Listen, I will get it. I've always said how much I hate tiny mics. And then I got one and I realized how useful they are and how beneficial they are to the creator economy. And so we will eventually, when I get the setup figured out, because I'm still figuring that out, this is a distance. This is quite the distance here. I feel like it's too far. But when it was too close, it was too much of me. And I feel like you got to see both of us. And if you're listening to this, it doesn't even matter, because I am going to be posting this on Saturdays. And so you'll see this on YouTube and wherever else you get your podcasts. How fun, how camp. Love that I've been able to say that finally. But what is it about? What are we actually talking about? As I said, I just love to yap. I absolutely adore it. It's my favorite thing. And when I'm making videos and when I'm making content, sorry guys, the word content, it kind of grinds my gears a little bit, but only in a specific way, but I will come back to it. When I am making contact, when I am making contact, that's a different thing. When I am making content, I am such a perfectionist. Guys, I promised myself I wasn't going to edit. I was just going to let it be. I'm such a perfectionist that I feel like I have to get everything right. I have to have everything scripted or free-flowing to the perfect extent to where I feel like I have covered every possibility. And it takes too long. And it then bugs me because I love scripting, I love editing, I love writing, but I love getting stuff out as well. But I never get stuff out. So we are going to be, every Saturday is going to be Samterday. Yay! And I shall be posting this on YouTube, and we're going to be talking about all things entertainment, media, arts, whatever I'm kind of feeling. And at the end, we'll have a little catch up on like social media trends, shenanigans there. That's what I think anyway. So that's Lights, Camera, Yaption. And we'll have lights as this first section. Hello, we're in the lights section. Then we'll go to the camera section, and that's going to be more of like a deep dive about different media things. And then it'll be Yaption, and that's the social media side. For now, as I say, it's all very free-flowing. It could be anything. By the end of today, I might go, you know what? Why don't I just go out on the streets and talk to people? But for now, I think it's going to be that as the kind of the conceit. But what does that actually mean? Let's go through that. So lights, we're going to do a little catch up for the first 15 minutes. I'm going to tell you what I'm watching. I'll ask how you're doing. Deep breath. Are you okay? we'll have a week chat about what I've been watching, what's been going on in the world, and anything else that really like comes up immediately. The stuff that we need to talk about straight away, the elephant in the room, so to speak. We'll get Alexandra Burke on at one point, and she can speak to us there. So that's going to be the first 15 minutes, and then the middle section. That's going to be our main deep dive, our proper topic of the day. What we're going to go into there. I'm coming in so hot here, guys. It actually is very warm in this room too. Let's slow it down a little. Let's chill out. Deep breath. Am I okay? Yes, I'm just excited. But yes, the deep dive is going to be more something specific. So it might be some movies that I've seen in particular that I want to go into, TV show, theater, whatever we're feeling. But that'll kind of be the central conceit of the episode that we'll do a deeper kind of insight into. And then, yes, the last 15 minutes will be the Yaption, and that's where we'll talk about all stuff, social media, TikTok. We'll go into our evil folder on TikTok, my evil folder. We'll get into that. It's exciting. So yeah, that's the thoughts. That's the thought process. Will it be any good? Lord, I hope so. Lord, it'd be nice. And if it's not, that's okay. We gotta relinquish control. And as I say, that's the issue that I have, is I'm too controlling. So we're giving it over and just letting it be. Obviously, I'm still gonna edit out if I do like a big honking cough or something right in the middle or something. I was going to say a big honking jobby, and I was like, why on earth would I do a honking jobby on camera here? For those who don't know, honking jobby is a poo. So I'm not going to do that. That's not this kind of podcast here. But yes, there was lots of different names. It took me a wee while to come up with Lights, Camera, Yaption, and I'm happy with it. I think it's a good one. Guys, what's my qualifications? I have a marketing degree. Here, and I came up with Lights, Camera, Yaption, which is great. The rejected options were not so great. I need to run through a few of them here. So I wanted to talk to you about what it was almost going to be called. Absolute Samima, like absolute cinema. But I thought I wanted it to be more than just cinema. And also, it's a bit of a mouthful. Samima sounds also kind of like enema. And I don't want people to think it's like an anima podcast. I wanted it to be all encapsulating of just like entertainment and arts, you know? And I thought Absolute Samima might give people the wrong idea. And it's a lot to say. Other good one was the Samp stance, like the substance, but it's the Samp. My nickname, by the way, guys, Samp. I'm an awful marketer because I still can't decide if the channel is called Samp or Sampy. I think it's Sampy because that's what I was always called and what I always called myself. Did we know? You obviously didn't know this, but I might have told the story before where I used to sign my mum's like Mother's Day and birthday cards Sampy. Used to initialize myself like I was in class. Her own son. Yeah, I know it's Sampy. It's not going to be any other initial, but I just loved it. I just loved the branding, so I had to keep it. Oh my gosh! And then later down the line, she was hosting a party, and she had this student, because she's a teacher, help out, and that person was also called Sam. And so there was me, Sam, and he, Sam. And she said, okay, so all of this group of kids, you're going to go with Sam, and this group of kids, you're going to go with Sam P, referring to me. Her son. I was initialized by my mother. But I know it's the branding. You see, the branding is too important. We're going with Sam P. It doesn't quite work with the Sam P stance. The P stance? That's a disaster. That's a disaster. But I thought it could have been fun. And also it's kind of like, yeah, where I stand on things. So that would have to be the Samp stance and not the Sam P stance. Anyway, we're so excited. We're too excited. Too much energy. This is a lot to listen to on the way to work. So wind it down a little bit. Wind your neck in. But yeah, so we're going to go with Sam P stance, but there was too much to think about there. So we cut it off. And then for a long time, I was caught on the idea of Saturday night takeaway. And it was like, each section would be 3 courses, and it'd be like your starter, your mains, and your dessert. But I kind of thought, who orders a dessert on a Saturday night takeaway, right? No one does. Maybe like a Chinese, you get the fritters. But am I out of touch here? Am I being too woke and saying that people don't order a dessert on a takeaway? You get your appetizers into your mains, of course, but a dessert felt thematically wrong, and also Saturday night takeaway, Ant and Deck, I feel like they would not take kindly to me using their name in vain. Actually, I feel like Ant would be fine with it. Deck, he's a businessman. I feel like he would take it to heart. So I wanted to avoid that completely. I think we did. I think we did. So yes, that was we stuck on lights, camera, yaption because I wanted yapping, arts, everything there. And I think yapping is a big part of my brand. It was going to just be called yapping, but too vague. But we might use these other things as well. Oh my gosh! Also for Sam Today Night Takeaway, I read it and said, "Oh, we can't use that because it has the word turd in it." And I realized that Saturday just has the word turd in it. Did we know that? All this time, every time we've been saying Saturday, we haven't been saying the word turd. Like I just thought because I had changed the sat to Sam, it had created a turd. But no, Saturday always has turd in it. Do the big wigs at the top know about this? We must get this to Congress. They're laughing at us, making us say turd every like once a week. What are we doing with that, guys? First, we got to get a petition out. But yes, so that's the name. Oh, I'm going to be saying I've got a lot of stims, but yes, but first, that's another one I love to say. But I want to introduce you to the rest of the cast here. So my co-host here, Newton. Say hello, Newton. His tiny mic is attached quite low down. Newton, I won in an arcade for £1. And he's his own person. I don't like to say I won him. I freed him for £1 from his box. He came out of a container that, and then I had the best day with him. I just had the best day running around the arcade. Love of my life. Named after Olivia Newton-John, of course. Of course it's named after Newton-John. Olivia Newton-John. So he's here with us, and she's my best friend. He's got a little green hoodie on because when I was doing that Wicked review, I wanted to dress him up as Elphaba, and I had this green jumper, and so I put it on him, but it's actually very difficult to get. He's got quite thick arms, baby. And so it's hard to get off. And also, there's not really anything else I could put him in the meantime, and it feels wrong to take off the clothes and not put them back on. You know, it's like Winnie the Pooh we associate with being pantless, and so if one day we gave him pants and had taken them off again, he would feel more naked, you know? And so I decided this is going to be his costume until we get something else. So he's here, Miss Olivia Newton-John, Newton. Love him. He'll talk occasionally. At the top here, we got Scoobert, Scooby-Doo. In case you don't know, Scooby-Doo, big branding thing here. We love Scooby-Doo. Feels weird to call a toy Scooby-Doo Scooby-Doo. So I've called him Scoobert. It's like everyone who calls their Barbie Barbie. Let's have a think. Let's be original. Give her a different name. What happened to originality here? And I get that they are all Barbie, but I just think your Barbie can be a different one, you know? It's just too much. I think we can be more original here. I don't want everyone to say, oh yeah, my Barbie's called Barbie. No, my Barbie's called Barbie. You got me? I'm too control. Too much control. I'm trying to control everything. But I mean, who am I to judge? Because my first cuddly toy was a cat, and I called her Miss Kitty because she was a cat, and maybe like a teacher. I don't know, Miss Kitty. I wish I'd done Ms. Kitty because I think that is a very slay name. But no, she is the simple Miss Kitty. She's at home. Anyway, so that's Scoobert. Then we have made by my friend Anne from Friend Felt's Craft. Felt Friends Craft. We have my Cotton Candy Glob, another Scooby-Doo friend. So adorable, so cute. I kind of need to give him a nickname. So Cotton Candy Glob would be his character, but he needs to have a nice name. Global? No, that's not a name. What the hell was that? Global? Be more original. So he's sitting there too, and then beside him is my Labubu, which I got given from work. That also doesn't have a name. Also shouldn't be calling it just Labubu. I'm so hypocritical. You're going to see me go back on all the stuff I say many times, but this is a Labubu, and so we need to give the Labubu a name as well. I quite like to call it the Labubu, but I think it deserves more than that. How cruel. You, I don't know your pronouns. You deserve more. So that's the crew. That's the crowd. To say this was just a little introduction session here. And I'm Sam. I've said that many times, obviously. So I hope that is all good with you guys. So that's today's lights section here. We're setting the lights up. to get ready to film for the main camera. And usually, as I say, this will be like a catch up, a check in, a gossip about more than just what you see here or what you're listening to. Everyone that's just listening, hello. And it'll be more about like what we're talking about. But today, for our main topic, we're going to talk about what I'm watching now. What I'm watching now and what we're doing there. Let's jump into that, shall we? Woo! So let's talk about what I'm watching now. As I say, guys, in most of these episodes going forward, I'll probably do a little catch up at the beginning on how the things I'm watching are going, what my thoughts are there. And truthfully, a lot of it is going to be reality TV. So if you hate reality TV, I'm very sorry. The first 15 minutes are probably not going to be for you, and the next half an hour is probably not going to be for you, and the majority of my references are probably not going to be for you, okay? I apologize, but just like stick around. There might be something you can fish out that you like. Maybe I'll say something silly, and you can say, oh, I like that. Maybe. So stick around for that. But yes, watching a lot of fun reality TV shows. Guys, Drag Race. Guess what this guy likes. Drag Race. Duh. It takes over. I've got a Y% membership. It changed my life. And so I am watching multiple seasons of Drag Race at the same time. I'm going to try and avoid just becoming a Drag Race podcast, like a Drag Race recap podcast. There's so many of those, and everyone does it better than me. I just be like, I love Ginger Minj. I love Ginger Minj, and I want her back every single time. Love the way she lies. I think it's absolutely iconic. But no, this week we just saw the finale of Drag Race All-Stars 11. You can believe All-Stars 11. I remember when All-Stars 2 was being announced, and I was doing my summer job from uni and going, oh my gosh, this is going to change the game. Now we're on 11. My God, where does the time go? But for anyone who doesn't know, I am going to give context to these shows as well. Do not worry. If you've never watched a Drag Race before, I can tell you what's going on there. Drag Race, you got a bunch of drag queens competing. RuPaul is the host. Every week they do a challenge that is absolutely bonkers and usually has very little to do with like practical drag skills. They've done wrestling. They've done cheerleading. That's not true. There's lots of practical things, of course, but I feel like they really go to town on the goofiness. Branding water bottles as well. My favorite type of water bottle comes from a drag queen, of course. But yes, that is the kind of structure of it. Someone is eliminated at the end of every episode. Usually it's the bottom two lip sync against each other, and the winner sends the other one home. But on All Stars, they love to switch it up a little bit. And it kind of brings me to my first topic of the day, which is, why are we trying to make everything Survivor? Why are we trying to make everything the Traitors? I need to know. Listen, I love a social deception game. I love to lie. I love Ginger Minj. I love to lie. It's so fun. But every show now, they seem to need to add some sort of element of betrayal, alliance creating, deception. And it just doesn't need it. Drag Race, I feel like, is a talent show. And they've really leaned into just this idea of, oh, but anyone can win based on social manipulation. But why? Why do we need to do that? Why can it not be the best drag queen in RuPaul's eyes wins? And I get there's so many skills and so many things going on, and the best drag queen does not always win. In fact, the best drag queen in the world probably hasn't even been on Drag Race. But it is Jinx. Jinx is pretty close, I will say. But yes, so All Stars 11, the format was this bracket system. And what that was they had six girls in 3 different brackets. Oh my gosh, numbers. They had 18 girls in 3 different brackets of 6. And they would compete for 3 weeks, earn points. The 2 with the most points at the end of 3 weeks would go on to the next round. The next round, then, all the girls would come together. All the winners would merge. And one queen would be decided as the winner. All the girls would vote on who they thought was the worst. And those bottom 2 would lip sync. And so, like, there is strategy to it. And there was a lot of talk of alliances. But at the end of the day, spoiler alert, Crystal Method won. And Crystal won the 2 merge challenges and so didn't need to take part in the ranking. So it was kind of like, what is the point in there being this social deception, this voting, this alliance-based game, if actually you can sidestep it. And the argument will be, well, Crystal just did the best. And I thought she was great. I absolutely thought she was amazing and deserved to win. But I don't understand why we were making this be the rules for the game and then rewarding the person who didn't have to take part in it the most. Like, if you're going to be an alliance game, be an alliance game. Go and give us Big Mother, you know? And so it just always sits a bit weird with me because Drag Race has been doing that a lot recently. In the most recent regular series, which is Drag Race, oh my gosh, US 18, 18, they can legally drink in the UK here. And they had an episode which was the same where everyone got to vote for the top two and the bottom two. And the spoiler alert again, the eventual winner of the series was put in the bottom two for that episode. Unfairly, I must say. They absolutely did not deserve to be in the bottom. But we spent 2 whole episodes doing nothing but talking about the potential ways in which people were going to vote. And that was exhausting. I just want to see drag. I want to see drag. It's like if you went on Hell's Kitchen and you spent 50 minutes of people talking about, well, here's which food I'm going to choose. Here's which protein I could choose. What vegetable do you want? I'll give you my carb for your protein. And at the end, they're just like, and here's 2 minutes of them making a chicken Caesar salad. It's Hell's Kitchen. Show me the kitchen. It's Drag Race. Show me the drag. You know, it's just a bit much. It's just a bit much. I still love it. I still think it's the best kind of reality TV show franchise there is. It's so much fun. Queer joy. Love them girls. And I think everyone who goes on it is just fabulous. So I wanted to see it continue. But I would love to see an All-Stars that was just an All-Stars. But also I get that none of the girls would maybe go back and do it because the current format of All-Stars with the bracket is really, really good for some girls who maybe don't have the funds to create an entire package for a full season, because it's a lot. It's a lot to be like, prepare for 12 episodes and then you get booted on the first. That sucks. That's so bad. So this one, at least it's like you make a package for 3 episodes you are guaranteed, and then you don't need to prepare anything until the time comes later. So it's not wasting anyone's money. But also pay the girls to get packages so that it's fine if they do get eliminated, you know? That's what I think anyway. It's a good format for the girls who maybe wouldn't do so well on standard Drag Race, but are good drag queens. Because they all are good drag queens, right? But it's Drag Race, and you have to be good at lip syncing, and you have to be good at so many different areas, and you also have to stand out on TV. There's so much to compete with, and as I say, I think probably the best drag queen in the world has probably never been on Drag Race. And so it's nice to have that format for especially All-Stars who maybe actually do have a bit of reputation to lose to go on the bracket system. But I also think for a lot of girls, it is not a good investment. I think people like Selena and Sam Star, although I think Sam Star did do very well. I'm like, Sam Star is such a finalist. Sam Star is such an All-Stars finalist at least. So the fact she got cut a little bit early, which again, I kind of thought was a bit unfair. Not on the lip sync, just in the fact they were in the bottom, where it just wasn't what I would have gone with personally, but I'm just a watcher. I'm just a watcher. Joey J as well. Obviously, things turned out great for Joey J. I don't know how much element of true luck there was in the wild card. Oh my gosh, I said I would explain how Drag Race works. So guys, they had a wild card. So one of the people who didn't make it through the merge, they put in 3 names of people they liked, rolled them in a little barrel, and then one of them got chosen to come back. And it was Joey J got chosen to come back, and they made it all the way to second place, which was iconic, and they were fantastic. And also, it's like, I think they absolutely deserve second place. They were like second best in every challenge that they did. But part of me kind of thinks, well, if Joey J had been on a regular All-Stars or like a regular season style format, but in the form they are now, I think they would have made it all the way by themselves without any social alliances or ridiculousness like that. And so I'm just tired. I'm just tired of all this alliance talk, and Drag Race really puts a big focus on it at the moment, especially with Canada All-Stars. Yes, guys, double dipping in the piggy pool. And once once Australia versus the world comes out, I'm also going to be on that too. Oh, but All-Stars is finished. Okay, so I'll still only be double dipping in the piggy pool with Canada All Stars and Australia All Stars. And there is a France and there is a Mexico Royale, but I only watch the English season because I can put it on the background. And I did watch Philippines and I do watch some of the other ones. But there's so much to take in. So I need to have it in the background. I need to be able to hear them. Is that all right? I will watch the other seasons at one point in my life, but for now we're focusing on Canada and Australia. So Canada is doing their own All Stars. There's Drag Race Canada up north, and it's their first All Stars. To say we're on All Stars 11 of the US franchise, All Stars 1 of the Canada franchise, and they've got 9 of the best contenders that they've got. It's great. It really feels like an All Star season. But they're also doing alliance twists, alliance shenanigans. They have this thing. This sounds so crazy. The fact that I have to speak this aloud. They have this thing called the Golden Beaver. And what the Golden Beaver does is, instead of there being a bottom 2, there's a bottom 3, and the winner of the week gets to give the Golden Beaver to someone in the bottom 3. They don't have to lip sync, and everyone else can lip sync. All the other 2 have to lip sync. Everyone else, every single person, RuPaul, Michelle, they get up, they start lip syncing. No, just the bottom 2 lip sync. So they've done the Golden Beaver. What have they called this one? The All Stars Beaver or something? She's got All Stars lips now. So now they have a bottom 3, and the Golden Beaver, instead of it just being the winner of the week that decides who gets the Golden Beaver, it's democracy. It's beaverocracy. Everyone gets to vote on who receives the Golden Beaver, which is, again, I'm like, that's nice, but it's literally set up, divas. I can't explain how much it is set up to just look like a Big Brother vote, especially Big Brother Canada. You see them enter the room, and they go, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I vote to save. It's Big Brother. They're doing Big Brother, which is fine, but why can it not just be, and guys, the best drag queen wins? It's usually in the name. It's not, may the best beaver holder win. I would win that every time. This becomes increasingly apparent because I said there was 9 of the best of Canada. It is 9 Canadian queens, but one of them is Miss Jackie Cox, who is actually from US season 12. And she came 5th in her original season, and it was a stacked season. No, she came 4th? No, she came 5th, but there was a disqualification, so technically she came 4th. Drama! We'll talk about that another time. So technically she came 4th, and she was very beloved, and she's great. She's a great drag queen. She did a fantastic talent show as well, but she didn't know any of the girls there, really. She didn't know them personally, and so she got like 2 votes to save, and she got put to lip sync and then sent home. I just felt so unfair. It felt so cruel, and I was like, I don't think she was the worst of the week. Her talent, because it was a talent show, was she sang I'm feeling terrific, and it was about being like imported, like a tariff, because it's Canada and America, which I thought was very fun. It was beautiful. Her vocals were great. 2 other girls' talents. Well, Near Enough, who is I love Near Enough. I feel like she's like a variant of me. There's a couple of variants of me floating around, and I feel like she's a me variant. Near Enough's talent was she stacked cups incredibly slowly, and kind of like a kid who was given those stackable cups, like on Christmas, they unpacked them and did it for the first time. That's the level Near Enough was doing it, where clearly she loved it, but it was like, okay, Near, yeah, you're stacking them cups. It wasn't great, and she was in the bottom. And then the other person, Juicebox, she deadlifted a man. she deadlifted a man, and it's like cool, but like, yeah, she lifts. I think there was no, I guess the element of camp was that it was a human man. But she does it thrice, and on the 3rd time, she kind of dips the guy a little bit low, and he hits his head off the floor, and she goes, oh, and she checks it, it's like, oh, are you okay? Are you okay? It's like, listen, if your talent is going to be lifting a man, I expect him over your head. I expect him spinning around, like, on your finger like a basketball. And she kind of, like, lifted him, and then, yeah, bonked him. So to me, it was so clear that Nira and Juice were in the bottom, but because of this twistorama, Miss Jackie Cox got eliminated, and it just felt really unfair for me personally, in a lot of aspects. And they were all like, it's the game, you have to play the game. But for me, talent shows should be about the talent. As I say, I really think it was just a step too far, and I wish they would. They're in the middle right now of where it's a social game, but it's also a talent show. And I don't think those things come together very well, and they keep trying to make them come together well. So I'm kind of hoping that they eventually make some kind of Drag Race spin-off. Honestly, make it in the world of Drag Race. World of Wonder, who makes it? Why don't you just make a drag-themed social strategy game? And then you can put all your ideas in there and get out. I know, obviously, the TV show will need some like twists and turns to keep it new, but why don't we make them talent-based? Is my thought. Because Jackie Cox going out, it's like, I'm trying to think of like a sports analogy I could use to explain it. It's like if like why am I pulling Joe DiMaggio of all sports people I could think of? I don't know where I was going with it, but for some reason I thought I could explain that Jackie Cox was like if Joe DiMaggio went to another. He's dead. He was Joe DiMaggio. Who is Joe DiMaggio? He played baseball. I know nothing about baseball. I couldn't name a single sports person. Jackie Cox is not like Joe DiMaggio. What happened there was like if someone who came fifth in a sports game in one country went to another country, I was booted out first. She's not like that. She just is that. Joe DiMaggio. Get a grip. Get a grip, Sam. So, anyway, a lot of thoughts about Drag Race right now. And as I say, I'm going to try and not make it a consistent, we must talk about Drag Race, blah, 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 blah. And that's why I'm getting most of my thoughts out here on our deep dive. This is the reality app. Touch of reality, I would say. But the other show I'm watching right now, kind of adjacent actually, is Big Brother. I am watching Big Brother US, which is crazy, guys, because it's him in the UK. What? I do watch Big Brother UK as well, but Big Brother US, highly recommend, divas. It's campy. It's so much fun. As I say, I love a social strategy game. I was watching Big Brother US before COVID, and then COVID came along, and I was like, perfect. I'm just going to catch up on everything. And so I've very much been obsessed with that and the concept of a kind of Survivor style game but in a house. And I have tried Survivor, and I'm going to tell you something. I love the concept of Survivor, but every episode feels like Jeff is going, your body is tired, but your mind is sharp. Everyone thinks this is easy, but it's actually really hard. And you can do anything you want if you put your mind to it, but someone has to go out first. You are tired. You are hungry. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why is he talking to us? I know I'm not one to talk, but he belongs on Lights, Camera, Yaption, because he loves to yap to them all. And it's when it gets to like the tribal councils and they're deciding who to vote off, and he's like, you have done it. He's like, you are here. Who are you going to vote out? But don't say. Are you upset with that person? He's kind of turning into Kermit the Frog. You must vote out your friend here, and that is bad. It's like, it feels like every episode they are telling us what the concept of Survivor is, and it gets to the point where I'm kind of done with being explained. They're on an island, I know. But I do love Big Brother US because it's so camp, and they love to push it as like it's so corny. This season, the pre-show premiere, the pre-show promo was like, your guilty secret is back. Julie was like, I know you're fucking embarrassed to watch us. You feel awful. We're your slutty little humiliation kink. You hate how corny we are. And I'm like, I do, but I love it. They know. But this season is bringing it to kind of like new levels in a way. So it starts. Oh my gosh, it starts, and the theme is time travel because, of course, it's a theme which I personally love. Last year, the theme was murder mystery, and there was meant to be like a murder mystery, but the season was actually too good that they decided to just like scrap it. They went, you know what? Maybe we don't need it. The year before was AI, which sounds like it'd be bad, but it was camp as hell. The AI was evil, and they needed to overthrow the AI. And so I had the best time with that. But yes, this season the theme is time travel, and they are going to different times. They're traveling around the time. Who would have thought? To do challenges and stuff. And it's not like an overall theme going on. It's just kind of like it gives it a little bit of kind of a narrative to each competition, I guess. And as part of it, they brought in 3 different reality TV show vets. It was Angela, who was from Big Brother, um, Devins, who's from Survivor, and then Rachel Riley, not to be confused with Countdown Rachel Riley. She has not been on Big Brother. A different Rachel Riley here, who was a winner of Big Brother and has done 3 seasons. She did 2 back to back when she won the second time. She did last season and was unceremoniously cut. And then they were like, oh, she's back here. She's back. Which was very exciting. And everyone knew that Angela and Devins were going in. Plus D. Everyone knew D was going in, who's from Survivor 2. No one knew about Rachel going in. And so it was very exciting. They start to do the first competition, and it's like prehistoric themed. And then this dinosaur comes out. I say dinosaur. This person in a dinosaur costume comes out and like negs Rachel Riley into a volcano. And then Julie Chen says, unfortunately, the velociraptor has thrown Rachel Riley into a volcano where she has met her untimely demise. I was like, yeah, you were really pushing for the be embarrassed for this show because that was a lot to take in. My flatmate was watching like a full episode with me for the first time and was like, wow, he loves it, he's invested. But I was like, I swear this is like a really mature social strategy game. But yeah, Rachel Riley has been thrown into a volcano. But it's crazy. It was like, whoa, they faked us out with Rachel Riley coming back. And I believed it fully. And I say, that is like, it's like if they got Joe DiMaggio to come in and say, I'm playing with you guys as well. And then they threw him on a volcano. That'd be crazy. That'd be mental. I am enjoying it. I just realized as well, I'm going to be so out of time. Guys, these episodes are coming out on Saturday, but I film on a Wednesday. And so I'm probably always going to be out. Anything that comes out from Saturday night through to Wednesday, I'm going to be behind on. That's bad. Maybe I should change it. I guess, Thursday? That means I'm only going to be up to date for Thursday, Friday stuff. Wait, what am I saying? Ignore. We'll figure out. But I'm going to be slightly out of time for a lot of stuff. So I'm always going to be slightly behind on the current Drag Race and on Big Brother. But figure out. The last thing I saw was the nomination ceremony for Devon's Head of Household, which is very exciting. Guys, honestly, do a deep dive. If you love social strategy, if you love like campy production, I actually think Big Brother US is a great job. If you are a lover of the UK Big Brother format, and you are a purist about it, it will probably make you a bit angry because it is so much more canned, it is so much more campy, it is so much less about people just living together, and it's so much more social based. But I do have to say, Big Brother US, guys, it has the most amount of seasons. It is the longest running one of the format, of the franchise, I should say. So clearly they've got onto something here. But yes, I highly recommend to anyone. I'll be checking in throughout that as well. Currently, my favorites are, who are my favorites? I love Angela. I think Angela is great. So Jason, guys, this is where the crossover gets crazy. Jason is Selena S. Titties from Drag Race, who was literally just on the season, the All-Star season that ended. But she's very hard to root for. She's not hard to root for, but she's let Big Brother brain get to her, where she's overthinking everything and she's focused on what's going on outside rather than what's inside. She was really upset because she didn't get voted in to win the Big Brother time capsule. This was like a competition to get what's the word I'm looking for? It was like a competition to get power, and Angela got it instead. And she was like, I thought my Drag Race family would support me. And it's like, I mean, yeah, they would, but Angela is from the show that you were watching, so obviously she's going to have the most amount of support. Like, this is her home she is in, and she's a favorite. So chill Selena, chill Jason. But yes, favorites, I love Angela. I think Dee is doing great as well. I kind of don't want a Survivor girl to win. Not Survivor girl. I don't want a Survivor person to win, because I don't want the idea to be, see, Survivor is harder than Big Brother. But Dee winning both would be great. I would love that. And there's a few other people I like Barrett, like Drew. I like Lyric and Mallory. There's a lot of people I like. So rooting for them. And for Canada All-Stars, I'm rooting for Near Enough, because she's my gal. I've actually got her in a sweepstake, so fingers crossed Near Enough can pull it out. But I do think Aurora Matrix is the one to beat, especially now Pythia is gone. What? Pythia getting eliminated. Bonkers behavior. Absolutely crazy. Come back to that another time. And the last thing I want to talk about I'm watching, guys, is Murder, She Wrote. I have finally found a way to watch Murder, She Wrote. I've been trying for years. I am such a fansberry. Love Angela Lansbury. Think she's camp queen. And I've never watched Murder, She Wrote. Every time I try, it's never on like a streaming service or anything. But I finally got it, which is so exciting. And I'm working my way through that. It is great. I'm going to be catching you up on it every single week and talking about how camp it is. She's ridiculous. JB Fletcher, that is Angela Lansbury's character, is a clown woman. She is so bonkers. She's always doing the most insane shit to solve the mystery. She has no fear. She's absolutely no fear. And she's seen so many dead bodies at this point, and I'm only on like episode 17 of season 1. But yeah, I've been trying to watch it for years to finally get into it all, and anytime I looked it up, it was always 2 episodes were available on Channel 5 player, and it would be like season 7, episode 13. And I would watch it, and it would start with Angela Lansbury coming in going, I've got a great tale for you today. It's called The Hotel Check-In. And then a completely unrelated episode with nothing to do with Angela Lansbury would play. And clearly that's like the late stage season where they've run out of mysteries for Angela to be in. So we're just seeing JB Fletcher's kind of creations. But I was so confused. And I was like, wait, is Murder, She Wrote just like Tales from the Crypt and Angela Lansbury's the Crypt Keeper? Am I wrong? And I was. So I'm into that now. I do watch it whilst I'm playing Minecraft. I do have to say, I'm deep into Minecraft, of course. I've never won Minecraft, guys. I've never won Minecraft. So I've decided I'm going to commit to that. And so I put it on the side, and it's a great one. I'm calling it Minecraft She Wrote. I can sometimes do a little double feature like that. A couple of months ago, I did a Banjo Frankenstein, where I was playing Banjo-Kazooie and watching Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein at the same time. Very, very good. The film was great. Banjo-Kazooie, even better. I promise I do pay attention to films, by the way, guys. It's things that I'm like, I need to watch this, I need to see this, but sometimes I want to play a game at the same time. It's what you really want from your movie and arts reviewer, someone who double screens. But hey, it's what the kids do these days. I watch Murder, She Wrote and play Minecraft at the same time, and it's going great. I can't wait to beat the Ender Dragon and find out who is stalking Cabot Cove. I think that's going to be great fun. My favorite thing in Murder, She Wrote right now is that there are kind of like telltale signs of when JB Fletcher has figured out that you're the killer, and you feel it coming up. Obviously, just from like a structural point of view, it's like, I assume the next person she speaks to is going to be the one who did it because we don't have enough time for it to be someone else. But in the way she speaks, it's so funny. It's like she'll come back into the room and they'll be like, oh, did you forget something? She goes, oh, yes, I just left my umbrella. Also, you did it. If you ever find something that belongs to JB Fletcher, if she's left it behind, she is prepping to come back and arrest you. She knows. It's either that or she asks for your shoe size, because it always seems to be down to what kind of shoes you're wearing. There's like 5 episodes in a row where she said, and your shoe size is a 6. Take them away, boys. But super excited to explore all of that with you guys. So yes, those are the things that I'll probably keep you up to date with for now. So we've got Drag Race, we've got Big Brother, we've got Murder, She Wrote, and of course anything else that pops up along the line. I'm looking really forward to Traitors coming back. We've got so many seasons of Traitors, and any other kind of TV shows. The Apprentice, I think they're doing Celebrity Apprentice. It's kind of more of a reality rundown. Maybe that's the format. Lights, reality rundown. Camera, more highbrow stuff. Yaption, TikTok. I think that might be it. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the deep dive right now. And so we can get into the yapping. Let's yap about TikTok for a little bit, shall we? And Yaption. So I want to talk about some social media trends and things that I'm seeing. This is actually an old one. But I'm talking about it because it keeps coming up. Oh, first, we need to introduce you to my TikTok evil folder. The TikTok evil folder is where I put TikToks that I believe to be evil, doy. But I use evil in a really friendly term. I don't want this to become the Sam hates content creators for 15 minutes section here. Not at all. But there's a certain part of my brain that really activates when I see something that I it has a dark energy. The Greatest Showman, that's an evil film. It's a deeply evil film, but it's not a bad film. I would say there's a lot of good from it, but it is darkly evil. And so my evil folder is similar. Think of it as that. It is like The Greatest Showman as a TikTok folder. Lots of different things in it. And recently added into it was some stuff on Conformity Gate from Stranger Things. Those who don't know, Conformity Gate is this online movement that believes that the Stranger Things ending was a hallucination caused by the main villain in the show, Vecna, and that it's not actually over, and that there will be a season 6 that comes out eventually, but everything that now exists is some way tied back to releasing that season 6, and things don't make sense. The answer to it is it was just a bad ending. I don't actually think it was a bad ending. There we go. There's my crazy take. I don't think it was a bad ending for the TV show, because I think the TV show had set itself up in a way to never have a good ending. I think Stranger Things, the first season, so much fun. The second season, yeah, all right. Third season, so much fun. But first and third season, very little connecting it. Fourth season, also very fun. First, third, and fourth season, also very disconnected. Everything kind of just happened because it was cool, because it was epic. And listen, I love that for the long run, but you're never going to get a satisfying ending if kind of all your plot points are driven by what would be freaking epic. I think. And I think you'll have a cool show, for sure. I think you'll have an epic show, but once you get to that final episode, everyone's going to go, but what about that epic thing? How does that help out? What about that epic thing? Why did he play guitar to get swarmed by the demo bats for no reason? He didn't need to do all that. Because it was freaking epic, guys. It was so epic. So the Stranger Things ending was a bit of a letdown to a lot of people. I just thought it was kind of corny. Lover of Big Brother here thinks the Stranger Things ending was corny, so let that be known. And there was a lot of here's the plan. This is pee, and this is poo, and I'm gonna shit it from my butt, and then you are gonna be the heart. Stop it. Enough. No more plans. And it just kind of felt like filler for no reason. So I understand people's disappointments with it in that sense, but listen, it ended, they saved the day, everyone lived, which again, people were annoyed about. It's done. We must move on. But Conformity Gate believes, as I said, that there is more. There's more to the story. And it wasn't bad. It was intentionally bad because they're setting up some stuff. And that show ended on New Year's Day, and we're in August. No, we're not. God, we're in July. And so I think we must give up hope that it's done. But in my evil folder, I have a bunch of people who are still convinced it's ongoing. And they believe there's a wider movement. And it takes in basically everything that they consume. And I respect the hell out of that level of delusion and self-obsession. It's like Taylor Swift psychosis to the next level, where it's like they will see a brand that they like and they'll see a number 6 and they'll say, oh my gosh, Stranger Things season 6 confirmed. It's kind of like a broken clock is kind of right twice a day, and sometimes that clock has the number 6 on it. Like, if you are looking for meaning in single digit numbers, like divas, 6, that comes up so much. At least with Taylor Swift, hers is 13. And yes, there are 13 hours in a day. There's more. And yes, there are at least 13 hours in a day and at least 13 days in a month. But it's double digits. It appearing on different things is not as common as the number 6. I believe it was 6 pieces of Stranger Things merch were being released. And again, we're getting closer. That is Stranger Things. So I can understand taking a little moment on it. But as I say, it's a single digit number. Maybe they just had 6 pieces of merch. Also, it's a nice number. More than 5, but still even. So I'm kind of obsessed with that at the moment. And there's been so much going on where people are still conformity gating throughout it. And as I say, it's literally like they will go to interviews with the cast and say, what's going on there? when is the new season coming out? And the cast is like, oh, it's done. And they're like, and they said it in such a way that I almost believed them. Free yourself. Believe, let go. You're grieving. You're grieving a TV show that never existed. It's done. Like with Lost, I imagine it's the same thing that probably happened when Lost ended, but they didn't have so much of a quick turnaround space as TikTok in order to generate content on it. Oh, let's talk about content. Okay, guys, listen. I am a content creator. I'm a content developer. I have nothing against content in a professional term. It's the best way to summarize what is on it, and it's not been exclusive to social media. It's not been exclusive to TikTok or anything like that, or influencers. The term content in that context has been used for ages to refer to so many things. But there's a certain time when the word content is used, and it just gives you the heebie-jeebies, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's not content. It's a video. it's like here's how to elevate your content. Firstly, smile. And it's like, what the hell are we talking about here? What are we doing? What's going on? Like, I get it. There's content of like an essay. There's content of an article. There's so many different ways where it's like the content is the good stuff. But oftentimes I feel like content is being referred to just like filler. Like, we need to get content of this. And it doesn't need to be good. It just needs to be something being like, hey, look at this guy. For this film, we're doing content where Tom Holland does a backflip, and then we edit a screaming llama over it. Isn't that good? Sometimes it just doesn't sit with me. I feel like it's me being very pernickety, but it's true. It's how I feel. And so, could I tell you exactly what part of the word content and what context and what word, what sentence structure triggers it in me? Not at all. Not even in the slightest. But it does. And now you know. So I hope that helps you all very much. But conformity gate content, inject it into my veins. I love it. The best one. The best one was because this, again, I don't want to name any creators because I think that's very mean, and I don't want to start like being like, and this person sucks, because they don't. But I think they are wild. And as I say, I respect the hell out of being so bold with your claims and your beliefs. But there was one person who believed that Taylor Swift's Countdown, which was clearly announcing her Toy Story 5 song, that was apparently a Stranger Things leak. It was getting meta, they were saying, because it was on a certain day they were announcing it. And on that day, if you looked at the track number of the day, that track number on this that track number on stop. Like, as I say, I'm trying not to engage with it because I don't want it to become like what I think of. I don't want it to be my way of thinking. But it was along the lines of the day it came out, right? The hour it came out was referring to an album. The day it was coming out was referring to a track number. And the track number on that album also shared the name of the 6th episode of a Stranger Things episode title. And to be honest, I think that is quite convincing. I think it's too much. I think it's powerful. I think it's very powerful to be able to feed your delusions to that extent, personally. But I'm obsessed. I'm like, well done. That takes good, hard work to make those connections there. I say it's when you see it written down, it's pretty clean. Cause and effect. But why would Taylor Swift be involved? I'm like, Taylor Swift loves Stranger Things. It's like, well, yes, everyone loves Stranger Things. It was the TV show of the 2010s, I would say. Oh my gosh, TV show of the 2010s, and it ended in 2026. Netflix, let's get moving. Let's turn it around a little bit quicker, please. That was another reason why I was like, it's never going to be satisfying, is because it took hours. It took so long to finally get those final episodes. For what? For why? They were also grown up. Millie Bobby Brown had 7 new faces by then. Love her. Have we all seen the interview with her and Olivia Rodrigo's like ex who she did the album on. And Millie Bobby Brown seems to keeps referencing Olivia Rodrigo songs. The best one is when she says, "Have you ever been to Japan?" Same like rhythm and cadence as it's said in Drop Dead by Olivia Rodrigo. And she says, "You're so American." Millie, are we doing this on purpose, darling? I think we might be. She out there millying her bobbies and her browns. Upset. Listen, rock on, Millie Bobby Brown. I hope there is a Stranger Things 6 because I think that is the most cowardly thing the Duffer Brothers could do, because they're in a lose-lose situation, really, where they admit that the ending is the ending and people are just unhappy with that, or they try and turn it around and say, "Yeah, guys, we're going to make it good now," and give us an ending which everyone goes, "You can't do that. You're not allowed to just say, actually, it's not over until it's over. Just because it's over doesn't mean it's really over until it's over. All right? Accept it." I'm trying to think of a show that ended great. Oh, Hacks ended great. I was very happy with the ending of Hacks. Imagine they were like, actually, no, the ending of Hacks was a hallucination by Meg Statler's character, and there's a secret 7th season. I'd love it. I'd love it. I think it'd be great, actually. You know what? Never mind. I call her Meg Statler. Oh my gosh. Stalter? She's Statler and Waldorf. She is none of those. She's a diva. Right. And with that, I think we're going to call it quits on the first episode of Lights, Camera, Yaption. Guys, thank you for bearing with this. If you listen to this whole thing, you're a god. you're very, very cool. As I say, hopefully you might get some guests in, not just Newton here. We might get a few more people hanging out with us, talking about stuff. If you have certain things you want to hear me yap about, absolutely send them my way. And to say, it's just a nice way to kind of keep in touch with you guys. I am making videos. I'm making the full-length videos. So, as a wee treat for people who have made it through to the end of this first episode, I'm going to say what my next video is that I'm working on, and that is winning every reality TV show in Roblox. So, it has been a labor of love. If you've been following me on Twitch, you'll have recognized that's what I've been doing. But this is me putting it all together. I finished filming all the talkie sections today, which is why I'm so sweaty as well. I don't know if you can see on video. I am sweating and shining right now, like I'm bored to be. So that is coming your way, but it's going to take a wee while. I'm hoping I can get it done before the end of August is my plan. But with me being able to have all the like film footage to take from already, then I think it could be quicker. It could be, but knowing me, I'm going to be lazy bones. Not lazy, just perfectionist. And that's why I'm doing this podcast. And I think I only have like 7 little things to cut out here. A couple of coughs and stutters. That's because I speak too fast. This is also my first time like properly podcasting here, guys. So if it's insane, because I think I've come in hot, both temperaturally and energetically. So I will learn to chill out. And also I'm trying to get a better mic because I know I'm rattling around and this probably has a little dink dink dink, which sucks for you guys. But hopefully the content is good. Thank you so much, guys. Have a fabulous, fabulous week, and I'll see you next Saturday. Cut!